want to get copyrighted, so let me just let me just stop. But you guys know that song. Anyways, that song kind of inspired today's freestyle concept. I think yeah, freestyle concept. The reason why I'm saying it's kind of like freestyle is because I'm just gonna talk about anything. It's kind of gonna be a bit unserious, but there's gonna be that serious element. I'm trying to be a lot more versatile, I think, with my content and everything, and I'm just trying to show more my personality through my content. So hopefully you guys are here for it. Hope you guys like it. I don't know. We'll see. And let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys do if you could turn back time? If you could turn back time, what would you do differently? Because there's a lot of things that I would do differently. So I just jotted like a few down, and like some of them were like mad and serious, and then some of them were like serious, and then I don't know, we'll see where the rest of the episode takes us. And yeah, don't forget to follow all of my socials, and you guys can find me on my main Instagram and my podcast Instagram, on TikTok, or you can find me on Spotify. Even though Spotify is giving me actually it's not Spotify. Let me not blame, because guys, I'm always out here blaming other apps, but it's low-key me. I had to like change my podcast that was like audio version, right? I used to make my content just audio version, but like now I make them like video, then I extract the audio. But I've been having problems, so what I did is I just made a new, this is, you know what, this is probably me being so late to like tell you guys this, because I should have told you guys like way sooner. But I started a new podcast audio version with a new cover and everything. Mainly because I forgot my password, and I don't know why, because when I forget my password, I'm always able to find a way to just get into it, but I just couldn't this time. So goodbye to that old channel. You know, you guys can still listen. There's still some good episodes there, so you guys can check that out. Anyways, let's stop yapping. Let's get into the video. Period. So, oh, right, the first one, right? So I also have like a bit of a story time with this one. Do I? I don't know. We'll see. So the first one, yeah, is if I could turn back time, I would learn Spanish fluently. So my problem was that I was a very inconsistent girl, and I don't know. I had never like had a desire to learn any other language but Spanish, you know? But there was a point in time, like I was very much like on and off, on and off, on and off. And I think kind of like stemmed from, because I don't know, Spanish is like a language that people just randomly want to know. Why is that dog barking, bro? That dog, guys, okay, guys, officially, I think I have beef with animals, right? I think I have beef with animals, and I have beef with them too, because I would absolutely F them all up. Because what do you mean, even though I'm a vegetarian, but they test me, you guys, they test me. Like, I don't understand why you have to be barking like that. Like, I know it's in your nature, but why do you have to bark like that? Like, tone it down a notch. You guys are probably like, girl, what? Also, another animal that I have beef with. Like, this is genuine beef. This is like they're my op. It's birds. Birds. Because which animal decides to open their ass crack in the middle of the sky and just... It doesn't make any sense. But I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, and he told me that they don't actually do it on purpose. It just slips out. And I was like, I don't really believe you. So I've done my research, and like it actually turns out it was true. But anyways, back to the point, because I'm going off a tangent. But I guess it's the point of it all. My goal had been to learn Spanish and everything, but that never really worked out. I only know like a few words. And I think I got very frustrated. Oh my gosh, guys, I have beef with everything, because I ended up having beef with Duolingo. I love Duolingo though, but I ended up having beef with them, because it got to a point where I was just like, so in South Africa, right, for my US audience, because I know I have a US audience and a UK audience. Period. We love you on the side. You know what? I was in the wrong. In all of these stories, I feel like I seem like I'm in the wrong, because with an animal, it's in their nature, it's natural for them. And then with Duolingo, it was kind of like fair what they done. Like, dogs are allowed to bark, birds are allowed to do whatever they want to do. Well, with Duolingo, right? I remember I had on my vision board that I wanted to at least have like a 300-day streak on Duolingo. Like, and I was like very adamant on having like a 300-day streak. It wasn't like gonna be, I knew for some reason it wasn't gonna be a full year, but I was just like, I just need to just try this for like at least 300 days. That's almost like a year. And then I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do it. I think I reached a 118-day streak. No, 188. Whoa, wait, I kind of did something. I was almost there. Because I would have gone to 200, and then I would have gone to 300, but that didn't happen. So what happened is that I got a bit inconsistent myself, and Oh, I was busy with school, right? So like sometimes I will forget to tune into my lessons. And then it was during a period where I had switched off all of my notifications off, because I was just tired, and I just hate notifications. They overwhelm me. It feels like it's real people in a room, and it's just like for each notification I have like a person and like it's, so I get overwhelmed. So I just like, no. So I guess the notifications weren't coming in, right? And then I forgot, and then I was like, oh crap, my streak. But luckily, I think when you have like a good streak, you're able to like redeem yourself, because they freeze it, and then you get to like, continue the streak without it like literally going back to 1 day streak. Because honestly, if it had, I would have stopped. And that's actually what ended up happening, because that ended up happening for like, I think 3 days straight. And also the hours that I was free to like do my Duolingo lessons, it was load shedding, and like the internet wasn't there. Everything was just a flop. It was like it was not meant to be. And then I was just like, F it. And then I went through and then I just was like, you know what, I'm giving up. And then I also went through a time where I could actually redeem myself through like a revision lesson. But when I was redeeming myself, all the knowledge that I had learned was gone, and I absolutely flopped. And then the very next day I did my lesson, and Duolingo told me that, oh, congrats on your 1 day streak. And I was like, yeah, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Almost 200 days, and you want to congratulate me on a 1 day streak? Yeah, bro, nah, bye. Anyways, that's also something that I've always wanted to do. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to do sooner was to transition into an Afro sooner. So funny story time once again. The thing about me, yeah, I thought that, because all my life, ever since like I could remember, I literally had like straight hair. So I thought that I had naturally straight hair like throughout all my life. Like I was literally telling the girls in my school, like, yeah girl, I have naturally straight hair, because there were girls like who were asking me if I have naturally straight hair, and I was like, yeah, like what do you mean? Like, of course I do. With such confidence, but they believed me. I feel like if you say anything in confidence, they believe you. But I also had confidence because that's what I believed. You get me? But to find out that, girl, your hair isn't naturally straight. And I just feel like the only reason why I feel like I would have wanted to transition into an Afro sooner is because I would have loved to like see how far, like if I had like had that hair from like young, how big would it be right now? Because I had like relaxed it for like as long as I could as long as I could remember. So I'm just thinking, how big would it be? Like I always have that thought, like how big would it have been and everything. But I just think that maintenance, guys. Wow. No one ever talks about that. No, they do. They do. They keep it real. They keep it real on this side of the internet. But one thing I have to say is that some people are really God's favorites. And I think that that applies to like men as well, like boys, whatever. Because I literally have a classmate, yeah, and you know how they always over like have clear skin, thicker eyebrows, longer lashes, and everything. He had an afro from 8 o'clock in the morning. It stayed the exact same length. It did not shrink. It did not nothing up until we left school. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, that's so unfair on so many levels, because the second I let my hair out, honey, it's like an hour in, not even an hour in, just like 30 minutes later, it shrunk again. And I'm just like, I can't be asked to just have my hair out there because it just shrinks, and I hate shrinkage. And I know people say, oh, you're supposed to love your shrinkage, it's a part of like, you know, having 4C hair and all of these things. And I'm just like, girl, spare me. I don't really care. I just want my hair to stay the way it is throughout the whole day. Is that too much to ask? Because the thing is, it's so much maintenance when it's like, when you have to shrink it, because it's like, now when you want to unshrink it, you have to go through a whole process of sectioning your hair, and now you can't even section the way that you would have if your hair was actually stretched out. And now your sections have to be like even smaller because it has to accommodate the way that the hair has shrunk, then like to the size of like length of the hair right now. And it's just like, it's just too much work. Another thing I would have done sooner, if like I could turn back time, is save money. I don't think that needs any elaboration. I think any person in this economy would say the same. Like, I think any person in this economy would do the same. Because South Africa's economy is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Because, like, what? Guys, if you live here, you know. But I think that's what the whole world is going through. But the inflation here is literally insane. Like, on top of everything, we have like our economy to like worry about, and it's like I always crash out. I always crash out with my friend Phelan, shout out to her, because we always crash out together, because it's like, why is all of these things happening? Like the whole thing with Iran and Israel and all of these things, it's happening like when it's my time to be an adult. And I don't mean to say it like to sound selfish, and it's like, girl, stop being full of yourself, like the world doesn't revolve around you. I don't like, I'm just a girl. I'm gonna crash out because it's like, finally, when I'm an adult, when I want to get my independence and everything, it's like, well, do you want that independence now? It just shows me that I just don't want that independence, because it's like, I don't want to live in this type of economy, girl, period. No, absolutely not. Okay, so this is like more like a serious one, and that is stop trying to change other people's perception of me. There was a point in my life where I just wanted to be liked, and if someone had a negative perception of me, I would do everything in my power, literally over explain myself and tell them about myself. So and try to be like, oh, is that what you thought of me? Well, that's not me. I am this type of person and this type of person. And I was just trying to like literally do the best to like make them like me in a sense. And I've just stopped because I don't really care anymore. And now if someone has assumptions about me, I'm like, oh, that's a nice assumption. Or like I'll be like, that's an interesting assumption. Because I don't know, believe what you want to believe. Because it's like, if you are happy with the image that you have of me in your head, then that's okay. Because some people are truly happy with the image that they have of you in their head, and it's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to convince them otherwise. They want to believe what they want to believe. Let them believe what they want to believe, honey, period. And it took me a long time to realize that, but I'm glad I did, because it's not really like ever too late. You get me? By the way, oh, should I even speak about it? Guys, this man, I don't know when this is gonna come out, you know, TikTok trends come and go, but guys, this man of the year trend, let's not even entertain it. Let's just like leave it. Oh, another thing that I wish I would have done differently if I could just turn back time is just stop people pleasing. Like, I think for the longest time it was just like a main issue again for me, because you think that if you're nice to these people are gonna recognize the fact that you're being nice and you're considerate of them and of the situation, but they're not literally doing the same. And it's not to say like everything that I do or any act of kindness that I do, it's like I'm expecting that back, but it's like just have basic human decency. It's like all you ask for. It's like you can't even provide that bare minimum. It's like, girl, bye. Like, let's be for real. Sometimes being that too much of a nice person allows other people to walk all over you and take advantage of you. Oh my gosh, I hate those people. I hate those people. I hate those people because it's like that person is so precious and so naive. Let them be like that on their own. Also, at the end of the day, you'll never be able to please people in general, because oh my gosh, I see it a lot with celebrities. Like celebrities is like, I think the best example I can use. I see it a lot with them. It's like they want one thing from you. Let's say like you're a musician, like you're an artist or whatever, you release an album, and it's like, let's say it's or this song or this project, whatever you're working on, it's what people have been wanting and asking for of you, or like this era that you've entered, it's like people are like loving it and everything. And it's like, okay, now you're in that era, now you've evolved and you just want something different, because you obviously can't keep using the same thing, because you know a lot of people are going to leave you behind if you're just going to keep reusing the same things over and over again. And now you've tried something different, now you've evolved as an individual, as a whole, and people will literally hate you for growing. People will literally hate you for growing. And it's like, it's giving projection, because those keyboard warriors are absolutely insane. And it's just like, allow that person to evolve, because you also need to evolve. Clearly, let's be real. When is the last time they took a look in their mirror and it was like, oh, nothing has really changed with me, like, and it's been 5 years. I wonder why. You can't criticize somebody else for evolving and for wanting better for themselves. And it's just like, you will never be able to please the internet, because the internet will demand one thing, and then you'll give them that thing, right? And all of a sudden they don't want it anymore. It's just like, what do you want? Like let's be real, it's just so annoying, because you can't come and criticize somebody else for growing and progressing and for doing all of these things when you yourself don't even know what you want from them, when you don't even know what you want for yourself. So it's just like, it's a crazy weird dynamic. I don't know, it's weird, this world that we live in. Yeah, because suddenly they'll hate on that thing now, and it's like, isn't that what you wanted though? Like I don't know. It's like, the second you stand in business, people start to take you as a joke. People they want the old you because they feel like the old you was better. No, people just want that old version of you because that person was easier to use. That they could literally do anything that they wanted to with. They could use that version of yourself as a puppet and you wouldn't even know, and they would be taking advantage of you every second of the day, every second that they see you. And that's what they miss, that's what they enjoy. They don't actually miss the old you. They miss the old you that was naive and that was lenient on them and that was way too kind. They miss that version because they miss having someone that they could take advantage of like that. They don't actually miss you. Hell no, they're lying. So yeah, and sometimes people just miss that old version of you because they themselves can't even move on from this current version of themselves. So they don't want you to move on because it's like, how can you move on if I haven't? You know, some people have that weird mentality. It's just like so weird. Guys, I was speaking about like how this generation is like very unserious. I feel like a prime example of like an unserious country within the world is the country that I live in, South Africa. South Africa is literally the most unserious country, and you know, I have a very much like a love and hate relationship with it. but I love the nation. I think I love the nation because it's just like our humor. You can't really explain it to anybody else. It's like other countries would be like literally asking us like, why do you find this amusing? And it's just like you won't get it if like you lived within our country. It's something that you would understand, and I just feel like if more people understood that, you won't be able to understand something that you just won't understand it. Like, stop pressing and stop beefing with us, because guys, there's so many of these petty beefs that happen like on Twitter and on the internet and TikTok and Instagram and everything, and it's just like all these countries beefing with us. Like, we know we are that, but just stop beefing with us. Anyways, I don't know if maybe what I said was out of pocket. I don't know, some people might not agree, but hey ho, it's my opinion. If you're gonna get mad at my opinion, child, that's crazy. Us being like the most unserious country, I feel like that's why a lot of other countries don't like us. They just hate us, whatever. And to a certain extent, it's honestly just valid, because we don't really take anything seriously, and it's like whatever the other country has to say about us, we don't really care. But you know what I hate though? You know what, one thing I hate, and from what I know, some of these countries don't really like South Africa, and that's valid within itself, but they don't not like us for like the valid reasons. I feel like if you feel like you disliked South Africa for its gender-based violence, you know, women constantly being on the edge because you constantly have to look behind your back, and like, you know, all of these things, and all of this, like the crime and the poverty and the corruption. If you hate South Africa for the state that it's in like that, I would understand, because I would see where you're coming from. I was in my history class like a few days ago, probably like a month ago, and then my history teacher literally asked us like, what kind of country do we want to live in? Because we were like, okay, let me not even provide context, but like it was just basically asking us, if you had the chance to vote for a type of country and a type of party that you would want to vote for and form or whatever, what would that encompass? What would that involve? What would that include? And everything. And I really and truly thought about it, and I literally looked at my friend Valen again, because we're always having such like nice conversations. I looked at her and I was just like, honestly, for me personally, I just feel like a peaceful country, a peaceful nation, where women don't have to like flip and suffer every other day. Like, there's news every single day, a woman suffering and all of these things, and it's just like, it's so disgusting to see that all the things that are happening to women, and it's just like, and it's so disgusting to see the comments under it all saying that she asked for it, and all of these unhinged and diabolical, literally diabolical questions. And it's just like so vile to just see all of the comments under it and just literally blame the woman for what happened. And it's like, whatever happened, it did not have to get to such an extent. Whatever happened to talking about things? And I feel like that's the reason why the world is the way that it is. That's the reason why we might have World War III. It's just because people are just power hungry. People just want to have an advantage over like other countries or whatever they want to do, and people just want to make people suffer, and they don't want to settle their differences because they just believe that, you know, a fight needs to take place where it takes place, where it involves the entire world, you know. And it's like, it's just so unnecessary, and it's just like, I don't know where it all went wrong. I just think it all went wrong when men were in charge. I don't know who has a different perspective from me, because they're the ones bringing all of the wars. They're the ones doing all of these things that are literally so unnecessary and so uncalled for, and it's just so vile and wicked and revolting. And it's just like, I don't know. Anyways, back to the thing before I get too passionate. I just feel like if the world within itself, not even the country of South Africa, but I just feel like if the world within itself was just peaceful, world hunger would literally end. No, like, there was no racism, because that's also just another aspect that people sometimes forget. I think people sometimes forget that we live in a racist world within itself. I feel like I live in a racist country, and I will never back down from saying that. If anybody else has a different opinion from that, then they should actually experience what the disadvantaged Black people in like the entire world like literally experience, and then they can come and say that racism doesn't exist and how they are treated in other countries and everything. And it's just like, you can't lie about what's the truth. Like, let's be real, you see it every day, you can't deny it. It's the truth. And I just wish that that was the kind of world that I lived in, where women don't have to constantly look back and fear for their lives and fear that something is going to happen to them just because they're walking alone at night and everything. Fearing that world war is going to happen because of politicians or whatever, because of power hungry people. It's just such a greedy world that we live in. It's just like so annoying because the rest of the people have to suffer. The people who have already suffered have to suffer now 10 times more. And then the people who are still up there aren't scattered. It's just insane. It's an insane world that we live in. But anyways, that was a good episode, I think. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. The next episode I might talk about relationships or friendships. I don't know. Are you guys bored of that? I don't know. Let me know. And yeah, comment down below what would you guys do if you could turn back time and do differently, and other opinions that you guys may have. And yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I hope you did. Follow all my socials. Every link will be in the description of literally everywhere. And now I'm on X, and honestly guys, I'm addicted. It's such a nice app. I underestimated it. Like, Twitter is that girl. Anyways, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and